I have no optimism whatsoever. And I'm a pretty optimistic person, so I say that with kind of,
Yeah.
but let's put it in context. The reason I initially had optimism, the actuaries predict that the program will go, the social will go, the trust fund insolvent within 8 to 9 years. At that point, a beneficiary who's currently relying upon Social Security to pay her bills will see a 24% cut. With that, we put together a program that not only addresses the cut without raising taxes on seniors, without increasing the age of eligibility for seniors, put together a program which actually addressed the insolvency, but also addressed other issues as well. We had Republicans and Democrats, but we don't have a presidential candidate or a president who's willing to take it on.
Better and actually strengthen benefits, and I'm an original co-sponsor of Senators Sanders and Warren's Social Security Expansion Act, which would expand benefits by $2,400 each year while fully funding the program indefinitely. I welcome the bipartisan commitment not to cut Social Security. We're here because Medicare and Social Security continue to be under threat. They are twin pillars of economic fairness in our country, so they should not be under threat, but they continually are. You may have noticed President Biden's State of the Union address, where he called out Republican attacks on Social Security and Medicare, which caused the Republicans to all jump up and deny that that was happening with a great deal of outrage. And he was able to say, oh, good, we have unanimity. We can put cuts to Social Security and Medicare aside. Well, that didn't last very long, because I held a hearing on this bill in the Senate Budget Committee, which allows the Republicans to bring in a witness of their own. And the Republican witness on this bill complained that Social Security payments were too high. Think about that for a moment. I do not know what world he lives in. As I go around Rhode Island and speak to seniors, nobody has said their Social Security payments are too high. If anything, they're worried about the COLA adjustments and whether they're keeping up. That's what I hear all the time. So we need to solidify these programs. They are within sight of going cash neutral and not being able to fund themselves any longer except with incoming funds. And if so, benefits would have to be cut. That could be as early as 2034, so that's on our horizon, and we need to fix it. Fortunately, there's a very, very easy fix, and it's a very, very fair fix. You take what lower income workers and middle income workers pay into Social Security and Medicare, and you make high income workers pay the same amount. At the moment, it stops a little over $160,000. Now, my bill would honor President Biden's pledge not to raise taxes on anybody over $400,000, but if you're making more than $400,000, that extra income would pay the same payments to Social Security and Medicare as the first $167,000. And a lot of people hide their income so it doesn't come in as wages. It comes through other corporate devices and ways of shunting money to people. This bill would make sure that if it's money that you're getting to live on, you pay the tax on it, whether it comes in as wages or dividends or distributions or borrowing or whatever it is. So we can do this. The Social Security actuary has taken a look at the bill, and it says that it will extend the solvent life of Social Security by 75 years. Well, guess what? 75 years is how far they look. So it may be more than that. They just don't look more than 75 years. And we have the Medicare actuary looking at the bill now to see how long it would extend its solvency. We have enough division in this country without people trying to attack these twin pillars of our economic security. So I'm going to work very hard to try to make sure this bill gets passed and work through the increasingly quiet but always present and ever more sneaky Republican opposition to shoring up Social Security and Medicare. And I think, as we saw in the Biden State of the Union, if they're really put to the test and the public is watching and they're being called out for not protecting Social Security and Medicare, suddenly they can look very reasonable.
Retirees face a $17,400 cut if Social Security. While this pledge is framed as protecting benefits, it is in reality an implicit of a 23% across-the-board benefit cut in 2033, when the Social Security Retirement Fund becomes insolvent. Would be cut by $17,400 for a typical newly retired dual-income couple. The winner of the 2024 presidential election will face a Social Security trust fund rapidly approaching insolvency in 10 years. Any 2024 presidential candidate who pledges not to touch C is implicitly endorsing a 23% cut for the 70 million retirees when the Social Security Retirement Trust Fund reaches insolvency. During the 2024 presidential election cycle, US Budget Watch 2024 will bring information and accountability to the campaign by analyzing candidates' proposals. Candidates' proposals, checking their claims, and scoring the fiscal cost of their agendas. By injecting an impartial, fact-based approach into the national conversation, US Budget Watch 2024 will help voters better understand the nuances of the candidates' policy proposals and what they would mean for the USA economic and fiscal future.